for being a part of my life like this. It's really great. It's really fun, and I always, for me, it's like whenever I'm in this sort of environment, I love the way people dress up and the fun you guys have. I think life should be like that all the time, a big party, But I guess the thing is for me is like I wish for everybody that you have a life like mine, that's full of joy and gives you fulfillment in your work and joy. You get to meet wonderful people, work with wonderful people, and I can't say that I know exactly what it is. But pursuit of happiness always comes to my mind. I didn't know exactly, I had no idea I was going to be an actor, that's for sure. Last thing I ever thought. But I was really committed to being happy, because my dad had not been happy in his work all the time. And so seeing somebody who, the result of somebody who's not happy in their work, and then thinking, I have to be happy. And that pursuit of happiness, is somehow what makes it happen, So if you in your life develop your dreams and your passion by living in joy and I love doing this, I'm going to do this more, like coming to anime conventions. It's so cool. So maybe you won't exactly work in anime conventions. Maybe you will. Maybe you go, this is something I want to do. I will produce my own, or I will get you. You never know how destiny is going to work with you. But it definitely, when you're committed to happiness and joy and fun, and you're doing harm to nobody else, I think that in my philosophy, the universe opens up and gives you great gifts, and I don't deserve everything that I have, but it's sure fun. So thank you very much for coming, and I want to answer any questions that you could possibly have. Yes. Okay. So I had absolutely no idea. Not only did I not know who Mario was, starting the job, it was really kind of a one-off thing. It was going to be at this one consumer electronics show that Mario would meet the public and talk. He'd say, "How you doing?" A hidden camera, hidden microphone, doing what's called merch, Mario in real time. Where and I had no idea who Mario was, or how people responded to Mario, but. We did that one show. It was great fun. And then, Nintendo called up and said, "Hey, we're going to do it again. You want to do it again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do." We went and did it again. And then it was more and more involved with the people and things. And, I would see Mr. Miyamoto walk by and I'd go, "Papa!" That's so adorable. It was just fun. And then, we did it again and again and again and again. And I turned this sort of like one 3-day job into a 23-year-long career so far. And I hope it goes for at least another 23 or 25 or 30 years. So I had no idea. No, I didn't. In the real-time animation system, the merge, and this has been one of the great things about Nintendo. They're so loyal and so incredibly caring and, interested, and they want to know how are you doing? Excellent, and they're just very wonderful in terms of the gifts. I would go to one consumer electronics show, and all of a sudden, there's like boom, there's Wario, like, "Hey, how you doing?" And it's like the guys are like, "Okay, we want you to do a voice to this guy," and I'm like, "Sure, have a rough day, yeah, It's like, "Oh, that's very good." And then there was Donkey Kong one time, and then I go into the studio to record, and there's this guy Waluigi, it's like, well, he's like the antithesis and the nemesis of Luigi, but they're not related. But see, you can see the hat is, the L is upside down and backwards, and I'm like, it's just like one gift after another. It's just been an incredible relationship, and the other piece of that no, I didn't know. I get to travel the world and meet Mario fans everywhere. And when I'm not there, we do think that we do the merch still. I was just doing merch at the Nintendo World Store at Christmas time, which is great, great Christmas, and then in July as well. With July, August, we did. And it's just so great to meet people, because people love this character Mario. I mean, it's so amazing. I was in Germany once, and I'm walking with the guy in the Mario suit, who was always somebody who's like a dancer, or somebody who's like is able to take heat and interaction, and being in there is like a very difficult job. And kids just walk up and they just like take his hand, They're just walking along with Mario, and it's like, oh, it's so cute, It's so cute. So it's such a beloved character, and I'm just the luckiest guy in the world to do it. And you know, when you do performance, like a real-time animation performance, you know, where you're not really in the same room as people, you know, so it's like I can feel the energy in this room. I can feel when it rises and lowers, you know. But when you're behind a TV set looking at a camera 2,500 miles away or 6,000 miles away, you can't really know exactly what the energy is. So you just got to go. But then also, you know, if there's like nobody there, there's just you or 2 or 5 people, you've got to know how to continue a through line of your character, staying true to your character the whole time. You can't be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? There's nobody here. You know, you just got to keep going. So rambling is something that I do quite often, obviously. And so, you know, we have people coming. One of the comedy bits that I would do, and then of course there was always tons of people at Consumer Electronics shows. Mario would do impressions, you know. This is my impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm gonna be back. This is my impression of Tommy Cruise, nice Italian boy. Oh, you gonna go?
Yeah, all right. It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. See you around. See, I'm losing my audience. So this is Tom Cruise. I'm feel the need for a speed. You should see my impression of you know, and I would go on and on and on and on. And now I tell you, this is my impression of me saying, woohoo, woohoo. Of myself. Oh, this is my impression of my brother Luigi. Mario. This is my brother too, but I do better than me, I think. You know, and so I'm always playing because children are just so beautiful. They're just sitting there watching it. Hey Mario, how come you're not in my TV? Are you going to be? Why are you on TV and not inside? Oh, I just jumped on the little green warp pipe. I said, "Big telephone store, hop in here." So I come here to say, "No, but don't worry. When you play the game, I'm going to be in the game too." You know, and I'm going to say, "Woohoo!" because I'm happy to see you. You know, it's really fun interaction. But one of the impressions that I ended up doing is.
Question about when they announced the sequel for Wreck-It Ralph, they said Mario was going to be in it.
Oh,
had they contacted
I don't know anything about that sort of, you know, and of course, even if I know, I can't say anything, you know what I mean? So not that I know of, but, you know, of course, it'd be really fun to do. It'd be really fun to do. But I will say, too, I thought that Bowser did a very credible job. Very on the target and on the money. That would be great. I would say, woohoo to that.
So long, Pete Bowser.
Is it possible to become a Bowser?
Oh, sure.
About Mario's gallery, and you brought up Hotel Mario. Would you mind if we gave you the script to give you the Hotel Mario first part script?
The Hotel Mario first part script? Yeah, let me see it, because there's a lot of other questions that Yeah. Otherwise, that's another question while we're waiting. Yes, in the back. Yeah.
I was wondering, how did your dad, you know, the idea for the script for the,
How did I get the idea, like, wah, you know, things are, wah! Oh, you know, we get a script, and then we also do improvisation, you know. So it's just like, it's all totally fun, you know, and so they know in Nintendo Japan exactly the sort of, what the ballpark is that they're looking for a certain animation that they've got. And then they have a script, and we have their people that work in Nintendo localizations who take that vision, translate it the way that I can understand it, and then, you know, we work together to get that sound. And then we try to push the envelope to see, you know, what if we did this, you know, and do something a little bit more, wah, you know.
also, I just want to say that my earliest memories of my younger years was playing the new Super Mario Brothers game and hearing your voice on Mario.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah. There's a question right there. Yeah. Hi. Have I ever played Mario? That's a great question. Yes, I do. I love Mario games. Do you like them too?
So do I.
Who do you like to be? Do you like to be Princess Peach or Princess Daisy? Yoshi? Princess Peach, she's so beautiful. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, you know Princess Peach right there. Hello, Princess. Oh, that's great. Yes, I do. I love them. And I love, first time I see the games is, I see segments of things. But then when I go to something like E3, or I was just at a place called Gamescom in Germany last week, and, you see and get to play the game for the first time. And it's like when I see something like Galaxy, I get goosebumps everywhere. It's just like so cool and so exciting. And when I see, like Super Mario Bros. We have it's like, I laugh, and I love it. And the Mario Kart games, I love every single Mario game I've ever seen, recorded, or played. It's just one thing. It's just more and more fun every time. Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure about the voice acting business, but does Nintendo own like a trademark on your Mario voice?
The question is, does Nintendo own a trademark on my voice? Yeah. Well, is that going to be the DS? Or, what is this going to be? I can't remember what the question is. Is this an N-Cube? What is this, a GameCube game? Or what is it? Oh, no, it's a different platform. And I'm like, wait. Is it a Nintendo platform? No, it's not. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I asked. Because, of course, it's relationships are to me a sacred thing. You never want to mess with it. And I had no idea when I walked in because they had actually met me at a Nintendo event and said, hey, we want you to come and do a Mario thing. So I'm like, whoa! So I'm always extremely careful. And yes, they do own the voice. And I'm happy they do. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So hypothetically, you could not do Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy audiobook read by Mario?
No, not without their permission. No, not without their permission. And I would doubt if they'd say, oh, what a great fun idea. It'd be fun to do it, but not, Yeah.
Could you try imitate the Christian Sale's Batman voice?
Oh, gosh. The thing is, the reason I do the Mario voice, the imitations like that, is because I can't do impressions. I thought that I did a really good Goofy, and I auditioned for Disney for, that's really good. That sounds pretty good, And the guy that was a friend of mine that worked here says, your impressions, sometimes they're really spot on, but there's something missing from, it sounds right, but it's not right the character. So I think when you do an impression of something, you need to do it from the roots out. And I don't seem to have that ability of like character intention that's behind it. Yeah, could you asked one, but he hasn't yet, so let me
Would you like looking at that?
Oh.
So where did those beautiful kids really come from?
I don't know. The magic of the Mushroom Kingdom, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
I was wondering if you could probably make this panel like 20% cooler. Hold on, let me show you. I wonder if you can read this in Mario's voice.
Oh yeah, let's not do that sort of thing. Because as I was just saying. Oh, that's sweet. But that's the sort of thing we're recording all these things, and I don't want things to get into YouTube and this is that and this is that, and you know what I mean. So and that's why the Hotel Mario thing. It's better for me not to just go jump out of it. Let me redo other things. But the questions and answers are great. Oh, have I ever gone to the orchestra for the Super Mario things? I actually did see one of them, and I was talking to another producer about going back with another one. It'd be fun to get on stage with it. I was in San Francisco, and the guy from Los Angeles, Tommy, was doing it. He came up, and I went on stage and said hello. That was really fun. And signed some autographs. Charles? Yes.
Have you actually dressed up as your
Have I ever dressed up? You know something? I have never dressed up as a character. I have worn the hat with the M on it. But it's like it's been, the character's a little bit different, and of course I can't dress up with it when we have a Mario walking around. But it is awfully fun.
So I've got two questions. So one, do you have any creative input to start when you get into Mario games? And two, what's your favorite Mario character?
So the question is do I have input when they're making the games, and what's my favorite Mario bad guy? The thing is I'm a voiceover actor. And so for me that's what I do. So when they say to me, here's the game, put the voice to the game, my creativity fits inside the realm of that, what I find that I can do impossible, and I always push the producer and push the director. Like, well, let me try this, let me try this, let me try this, and I say, great idea, yeah, no, or oh, okay, yeah, try that, oh, and try this too, So there's always that sort of creative input, but I don't say, oh, and then wouldn't it be great if much, that's just not my job. The thing is, you always trust the people you work with, and there's creative people, so many teams in Japan and America and around the world that's what they dedicate their life on for. It's that sort of thing. My favorite, I love Bowser. I mean, what a great character, So hopefully, there'll be lots more of that. Yeah.
I have two questions.
Sure.
One is, how's your home studio set up?
How's my home studio set up?
The second one is, what's your favorite Super Mario Brothers movie?
Oh, okay. So, what's my home studio set up? I don't have an ISDN line. I believe that I have a great microphone, a Sennheiser 416, and I've got it in my hotel room here. Somebody can be vacuuming in the front of my door, and it's a directional microphone. I can point it towards the drapes and put something in front of it there. Put my sheets over my head and talk, and it sounds like a studio. So. The quality of the microphone, not my studio. My studio is my office, which is a total wreck. I mean, there's just papers everywhere, and I have sound blanketing everywhere. Yeah, I do have a little bit of foam, but I look into the microphone. You're going to use a Sennheiser microphone on eBay for like $600. Make sure that it works, and then plug that into like a. You can do an M box, which is made by DigiDesign. And I have that sort of thing wherever I go in the world. And you don't have to, the digital design software used to be like $99 for the license every 2 or 3 years. And now it's like $400 or $500. So there's also freeware that will work with recording that if you're on a budget. So, yeah, $99. And then I didn't know if there was a movie.
Super Mario Brothers show. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers the movie. 1993.
1993?
Yeah.
I can't remember that far back, I guess. Yes, the camera.
Do you have 3DS to get the street pass with you?
Do I have a 3DS and a street pass with me? I did what I always do. I left it at home. I leave from here to go to London, so I'm not going to get home. And I also realized I forgot to unplug something and plug in the other side. I got to ask my neighbor to do it. I'm terrible at that sort of thing. Next time I come back, I will bring my 3DS and I will pass Funeral. We'll all murder. Yes, in the back, sure.
Do you have a favorite non-Nintendo game?
Do I have a favorite non-Nintendo game? I don't actually play any non-Nintendo. I have a favorite non-Mario game. I was playing Zelda He's so cool. He's so cute, running around and picking up the little pig and running, It's like, oh my gosh. I sat there, I okay, I'm going to go back to the Mario area. Wait, let me just play one more time, It's so fun. It's so, I love Link. Yeah. How did I feel when they made the first Mario? Well, I wasn't in the first Mario game, the Donkey Kong, because there was no voice. But when they used it, that was one of the greatest moments for me ever. Was after doing Mario in real time for like 5 years, I get a phone call, and Mr. Miyamoto would like me to do the voice in a new game, and to be the voice of Mario in Mario games, And I'm like, woo-hoo! Okay, here we go, And it was Mario 64. And the new Lips written processor had come out, and that was so cool because it taking 5 years of all the stuff I had done in public, as my hello there, it's me, Mario, thank you very much, Then getting to put that in the game, along with spaghetti. And again, that's that great coordination. I don't know whose idea that was, but there had to be something there. Maybe that was one possibility. And it was like, let's go, and wah, and thank you very much for playing my game. Yes, the girl there. Young lady.
Okay.
Princess. you're in love with somebody, you spend your time rescuing them and falling in love and being this wonderful person and facing every challenge with a let's go instead of a wow, he's such a great character. No, I like ever. Yes.
For me?
Yes.
Okay. I have to ask.
Yes.
I'm sure you get this question a lot. How come Mario and Bowser are enemies, yet they're always going go-kart racing, they're playing golf, they're playing tennis, stuff like that?
How does that even work?
I always think, it's like, well, Mario doesn't hate anybody, right? So and besides, if Bowser didn't kidnap Princess Peach, what would Mario do all day? What, plumbing and race car driving alone? You can't do that, So, it's like a friend. I always say, too, when I'm doing the Merc thing, it's like, they invite him over for a Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner or 4th of July. He breathes fire and everything and sets it on fire, and then Wario eats 20 turkeys and steals 20 turkeys. When you buy that thing, So, it's all rivalry, but it's all in fun, Yeah, you were going to ask me. Other than that song, if you ever get a chance, No, I Regret Nothing. Well, I get up there and I try to sing that for my classmates who know me personally, and they fell off their chairs on the floor laughing. So that was one of my most tragic moments when I realized, okay, maybe I'm not so good at tragedy, maybe I don't have that world experience today. I've done it so greatly, but I regret nothing, And another time I played a cancer patient in a play, and I can't remember the name of the play, but when you do something like that, you want to get it out of your system afterwards, and so we went to the party, and I there was this like it said lemon on it, and I went, oh great, and I took a swig of lemon, and it was lemon soap. And so immediately I bubbled for about an hour.
Were you okay?
So I was okay. I'm still alive, So it's like I don't do tragic very well. Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. What is your favorite version of Mario?
What's my favorite version of Mario? I think one of the by that you mean the what?
Paper Mario, Baby Mario.
Paper Mario, Baby Mario. I love every single one of them. Paper Mario is a lot more challenging. That it goes above my level of easy play. I can go like the first 3, 4, 5 levels and be like, oh yeah, I was something. I love them all, and I think one of the great things about the whole process of the 33 years of Mario, 30 years now of Luigi, is that if it was a matter of a few pixels or a full three-dimensional world, the thread of it and the integrity of that character has maintained there the whole time, which is so cool. Of the Mario game, Donkey Kong, you can still recognize the Mario of today, which I think that just shows an amazing creativity and staying to the integrity of the character. Yeah.
Okay, do you think that Mario doesn't, speaking of the games and that, and he should have more lines? And, I'm not saying he should be all talkative, but we don't hear him speak enough.
Yeah.
And also, if it's possible, do you think you can do an improv of Mario and Wario arguing?
That would be funny.
Well, do I think that he should speak more in the game? I don't, actually. It's a lovely idea. Of course, every actor wants to, play all the parts, and you know what I mean. And it's great if it's long. And there are games where that's appropriate, like Skyrim, where there's a lore and a tale to be told. But I think Mr. Miyamoto and the creative teams there, they know exactly what works great. You know what I mean? And it always works great in those games. So I'm perfectly happy with that sort of thing. Yeah, so I couldn't be happier.
Because that loudest one was
Boy, no, I haven't done that for so long. Mario. Like that.
There was one that was really loud.
Really?
It had 5 health left. It was like a scream. It was like a Mario! Just saying. But
Mario! Sure.
The question I have about Luigi is, he's always been this really cowardly, awkward character, and in that game, he has to actually deal with something and be courageous.
Yeah.
And seeing as it's the year of Luigi, we had the same dream team where he really has to deal with himself
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, what was it like, kind of exploring the courageous?
You know, I thank you for asking that. What's it like for you? It's exploring the side of Luigi who's more courageous. You know, I love Luigi. You know, because I'm more like him. I wish I was more Mario. That's what I tell you. Oh, an adversity comes, wahoo, I'll just go right for it. Instead I'm like, you know, I'm much more like that. So the thing about Luigi is, you know, he's not a coward. And you know, and the true hero to me is the person who is afraid and then goes through and does it anyway because it's the right thing to do. So, you know, in every character, I believe, you know, always the truth, always the through line. Because that will be the anchor that will always bring you back to that character. And for me, Luigi is incredibly sweet. He's shy but not terrified. You know, he can become terrified, but the overall real thing about it is he is a great hero because he's so human. You know.
So is there anything new that you brought to it for you?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, we bringing less terror and more of that sense of adventure, more of a power and self-empowerment and that sort of thing. And we talk about things like that in the sessions today. What do we want to get out of these moments? What do we want, you know, to evoke in feeling? And so, yeah, we absolutely do. Let me ask over there. What a great hat!
Oh, thank you. I have two questions. One, do you know any Japanese or have you tried to learn? And two, do you do your hand movements while you're like voice acting?
Yes, I always do. I never sit down and act. I always stand and act because I believe that energy comes out of the earth. You know and I also I don't go woohoo. I go woohoo. You know, I have to do that. Again, woohoo. It may sound similar, but it's not. You know, I know it's not. You know. So for me, yes, I always gesture. Konnichiwa, Mario desu.